Good morning and welcome to the Everyday English Conversation Cafe, something we do every Saturday morning to catch up with all of our students and our audience and see how you've all been this week. My name's Marion and I'm a teacher at Everyday English. As you can see, the sun is shining today. I hope it is where you are as well. It's a lovely day. And hopefully it's the start of a lovely time of year. So for those of you who are in the UK and have children, many of your children will have finished school yesterday and be getting excited about the Easter holidays. So I thought that first of all today, I would talk a little bit about Easter and what it means in the UK. So Easter, if you're a Christian, is a time of celebration because it is all about new beginnings. So it's in the Christian faith, it's a time when Jesus rose from the dead and forgave humanity their sins and created the chance, the new opportunity for human beings to try again, to try to be good. If you're not Christian, then in the UK, we still celebrate Easter as a time of new beginnings. So we have many lovely traditions for Easter, many of them to do with new life. So people send Easter cards full of pictures of baby animals, for example. So you can see pictures of lambs. Lambs are baby sheep. So let me just put that up for you. Lambs are baby sheep. So you often see pictures of little lambs bouncing around with their mothers in green fields. You'll also see pictures of chicks. Chicks are baby chickens. Again, this is the idea of new life, new beginnings, new starts for everybody. In many cultures, there is a celebration of some sort to show that we see that there are new beginnings. Usually around this time of year, when obviously in the UK it's spring, in many other countries it perhaps happens at a slightly different time, but as human beings across the world, we all seem to understand that it is good to celebrate new beginnings. Obviously, this year, new beginnings mean even more to us. We've been through a year and a half of times that have never happened to us before. Coronavirus, lockdowns, not seeing our families, not seeing our friends, times when we have forgotten what it's like to share love and affection with people in the way that we always used to. How long ago was it that you last hugged a friend? So it's really very nice that at this time, at Easter, we are also perhaps seeing some changes in the things that have been holding us back for the last year and a half. So very recently, we celebrated, if that's the word, a year since the first lockdown. And on March the 29th, so in 2 days' time, hopefully, we're going to see some easing of the lockdown in the UK. And I hope it's the same in your country. I hope if you're watching here from somewhere else, then you are also seeing easier times ahead. Obviously, these changes are conditional. So by conditional, we mean that it can only happen if other things are happening. So in our case, in the UK, we have a set of rules which we must check before we can change our lockdown habits. So, for example, the vaccination process must still be going well. Hospitals must be able to function with the volume of people who are ill with coronavirus. So no changes can happen unless those things are happening. So it is conditional. But I thought we could look at the rules that may change on the 29th of March. Let's have a look. So here we have lockdown rules for England from the 29th of March. So we still have to stay local as much as possible. So local is close to your area. Don't drive 200 miles to see somebody. Don't drive 50 miles to see somebody. That's not local. Continue to work at home if you can. We can't all work at home. And keep journeys. So journeys is how we travel from one place to another to a minimum, the least, the smallest. So this will be very exciting for a lot of people. 6 people or 2 households can meet up outside, including in private gardens. We haven't been allowed to do this for a long time. So you can see 5 other people outside or in your garden. Now, those 5 other people do not have to be in your household. Or if you are meeting as households, then you can have up to 2 households. Now, what we mean by households is the people that live with you. Okay, so if you are in a household, that is you and the people who live with you. So if 2 households can meet, you and the people who live with you, and somebody else and the people who live with them can meet up, but it's still outside. And don't forget that you are meeting, but you still have to be careful. You still need to keep your distance. You still need to be careful that you are washing your hands and using hand sanitizer and doing all the things that keep us safe for ourselves and for the other people around us. If we are now going to get the chance to see people that we love, we must still take care of them. But this is probably the thing that most people are excited about the changes that are coming, hopefully on the 29th of March. Outdoor sports facilities and open-air swimming pools are allowed to reopen. So if you like to exercise, this is an opportunity for you to go out and do some exercise more than just walking or running. So again, it's good. It's a very good thing, but still be careful. Be careful about your contact with other people. Non-essential shops, gyms and entertainment venues closed. So they are closed now. They will stay closed. When we say non-essential, it means we don't need them. Okay, we need the supermarkets because we need food. So there are some shops that we consider essential. We need them. But there are some shops that we consider non-essential. And often you will see in English, if you put the word non in front of something, then it tells you that that is a negative. It is not whatever the word is that comes after it. So non-essential. We are still not opening up shops that sell things that we do not need to survive. So when we say survive, we mean to live. We need food, for example. So those shops are open. We don't need to go out and buy clothes. Those shops are not open. So going back then, pubs and restaurants are closed. So we are still not going out to venues to see people. You can get takeaway food, which is the case now as well, but you cannot go out yet. Nothing is open for you to go to. So as far as socializing, so spending time with people is concerned, you are spending that time outside, including your gardens, and nothing more just yet. And you still can't go on holiday abroad. Okay, so these are not very big changes, but the chances to see people we love, our friends, our family, outside in larger groups will hopefully mean that this holiday can have some wonderful times for us. And I hope for that for you. But I really hope that at the same time, you will stay careful and you will remember that we are still protecting those that we love. This is a wonderful opportunity, but we are still in the process of making things better. Hopefully, the vaccination process will continue. We have vaccinated many, many people. I've been vaccinated, and everybody will be in a much safer place very soon. But not everybody is vaccinated, and not everybody is well. So we still have to remember that as we see our loved ones over this holiday. Now, for some of you, you won't get much holiday time over this period. Children have holidays from school. Teachers have some holidays. But many people will carry on working. So we do have some bank holidays. So Friday, the 2nd of April, is what we call a bank holiday. And Sunday is a bank holiday. And Monday is a bank holiday. So a lot of people may get time off then. They should get time off then because those are what we call bank holidays. They are national holidays. So hopefully you are getting some time off then. And if you aren't, if you are having to work, hopefully you are getting perhaps more pay because you're working that time. If you are not, then perhaps you should be wondering why. So there, in this country, our employment laws are quite strong. We do try and look after our employees. So if you think that perhaps you are not getting holiday or not getting paid for working at times when other people are not having to work, then perhaps, do feel free to talk to us. We can help you with this. It's very hard when you're in another country to know exactly what your entitlement is. So your entitlement is what you should have. Okay, so what you should have, what the law says you should have. And sometimes if you're new to the country, you don't really know what you are allowed to have, what you should have, then you can be taken advantage of. So please, if you have any questions about that, do speak to us. So if you have anything to add to our conversation today, you can always make a comment in our comments section. You can also do that after the session is finished, and we can still get back to you. If you'd like to join us for this session or any other session, just let me know, send me a message, and I can send you a link. Everybody is welcome. So it's a live broadcast, but everybody is welcome to come along and talk to us. Very welcome, in fact. So please feel free. It doesn't matter where you are. This is the beauty of doing things online. This is something we've learnt over lockdown. Doesn't matter where you are. Come and have a chat. You can be thousands of miles away or you can be round the corner, but you can still get involved in this conversation cafe. So one of the things that happens at Easter that I enjoy is that there is a lot of chocolate. So chocolate is something that we really like in the UK. I don't know what it's like in your country. Is chocolate one of your favorite treats, or do you have something else that you like? Chocolate is not very good for you, obviously. It's something that you probably shouldn't have too much of. Have you got something like that in your country? Have you got something like that in your culture? Chocolate at Easter is that the two are very linked. And when you're a child, it's one of the things you look forward to very much at Easter. And one of the things that we do in my family is Easter egg hunts. So we like to, now, can I give this away? If you have children watching, don't tell them. We like to hide Easter eggs in the garden and tell the children that the Easter Bunny has been. So the Easter Bunny oops, the Easter Bunny is a little bit like Father Christmas in the UK. So this is something we tell our children about. Bunny is another word for rabbit. So rabbits and baby rabbits are another thing which we see a lot of pictures and images of around Easter. So the Easter Bunny is a character that we tell the children comes along and hides Easter eggs for them. And then children will come out and they will look for the Easter eggs. And it's a very happy time. So I did it with my children when they were small. And it's something, it adds to the magic of the Easter time. So having looked at what's going to happen on the 29th of March, let's have another little look at what may happen also in the Easter holidays. So you can see here it says no earlier than the 12th of April. So no earlier than. It will not be before the 12th of April. It may be after the 12th of April. Again, it's conditional. Remember that word? We cannot do it unless other things are happening. So we need to check that everybody is safe. We need to check that everybody is still getting their vaccinations and that hospitals are still functioning well. If all goes well, on the 12th of April, we may see that all shops are allowed to open. So remember what we said? Now it's only essential shops, shops that we need. Now, but perhaps on the 12th of April or sometime after that, all shops will be allowed to open, including hairdressers and beauty salons. So if, like me, you have been despairing of your hair and desperately needing a haircut, perhaps 12th of April will be the time that that can happen for you. Also, going to the hairdressers and beauty salons is a social occasion. It's a time where we get out and we look after ourselves and we see people. So again, it's an opportunity to share contact with other people. So let's hope that can happen. Restaurants and pubs will be allowed to serve food and alcohol to customers if they are sitting outdoors. Now, again, if this happens on the 12th of April, people can get out and socialize more, which will be very nice. And hopefully, we will have the weather for it as well, because certainly this has been quite a cold winter. And hopefully, the sunshine is here today. Hopefully, that's a good sign that it will stay with us for a while. Gyms and spas, zoos, theme parks, libraries, community centres can reopen. Now, these are all important places. Gyms and spas, again, this is self-care. For many people, going to the gym is important for their self-care. And the same with spas. We don't all have the kind of money to be able to go to the gym or the spa. But for many people, it is all part of their self-care and helps with their mental health. Zoos, theme parks are obviously a day out, especially if you have a family. And libraries and community centres are obviously vital. So for many people, not being able to go to the library, not being able to go to community centres has been very limiting, has kept them from a lot of social contact. And hopefully now, if we can access those facilities again, it will be good for the general mental health of our communities. Members of the same household, so remember that's people you live with, can take a holiday in England in self-contained accommodation. So what that means, self-contained accommodation, because maybe that's confused you. Is, for example, a house or flat where you all stay, but nobody else does. Okay, so you can go on holiday with your family, your household, to a place where it will only be you staying there. So you cannot stay in a hotel because there are lots of other people in a hotel. But you could rent an Airbnb or a cottage or a house somewhere where only you will live and have a holiday there. So this is good. Not everybody can afford to go on holiday, of course. So if you can, you do have this opportunity now. And this is probably nice for families who have all been in the same house for a very long time together. Perhaps you want to go somewhere that's in the countryside. Perhaps you're in the town and you would like to go somewhere that's in the countryside. So you will still be in the same house together, but you can go for walks and you can see beautiful scenery. So perhaps a change of scenery will be very good for you. So this is another opportunity that we have, perhaps on the 12th of April, if things are going well. And weddings attended by up to 15 people can take place. So again, this is something that is important because most people get married at some point, and over the last year and a half, that has been something that has not been available to us, not in the same way. A wedding used to be a huge celebration where you saw all your friends and all your family. And I know that in some cultures, it is, you can have hundreds and hundreds of people at your wedding. So in the last year where we haven't had that option, many people have delayed their wedding because they don't want to have something that they can't look back on and think that is of it as a very special day. Some people have had weddings, but not as they would have hoped. So maybe this is a sign of those things being able to come back to us. And the other thing about weddings is, again, they're an opportunity for people to gather and see each other and catch up, where they might not be able to normally. So this, again, is something that might happen in the Easter holidays. So 12th of April is not very far away. So we have a lot of changes ahead. But it is very important to remember that we still must stay safe. And for those of you who have been very good, and perhaps are feeling a little frustrated. So when we say frustrated, let me write this for you. Frustrated is when you're feeling angry or upset about something that you don't feel you can do anything about. Let's put that up for you. So we often, people can feel angry and upset, but frustrated is a little bit more. So you often feel frustrated if there is something happening that you do not feel that you have any power over. And so you are frustrated. You know that something is going on. You know that something is wrong. You feel that something is wrong, but there's nothing you can do about it. So many of you may have been feeling frustrated about the fact that not everybody has been following the rules over lockdown. Some people have had their friends and family in their houses. This is frustrating because they are not just risking their own health and safety, they're risking everybody else's as well. And I'm sure, unfortunately, we all know somebody who has been doing that. So if you have been somebody who has followed the rules all the way through, this can be your reward. So your reward is your prize. What you get for doing something good. This is what you get for doing something good, your reward. So if these changes happen and you are somebody who has followed all the rules and not seen somebody you love, then I really hope that for you, this period is full of joy because you have waited for this. You have followed the rules. You have done all the right things, even though not everybody around you has done the right things. So if you have, and it is now, the now is a sign of things that will change, that you can have access to the people that you love again, then I hope that it is a wonderful experience for you because you have waited for it and you have done the right thing. And however frustrated you may feel about people who have not done that, then I hope that for you, this is a time for extra joy. You have waited a long time, and I hope that this happens for you. So, for the purposes of those of you who are going to have some time off over Easter, I wish you a wonderful break. Easter is a funny time of year in the UK for the weather. Sometimes it can be very sunny, very spring-like, but sometimes we have Easters where it snows. So it's you can never really predict what you're going to get for the weather in Easter, over Easter. And I hope for all of us that we will have the sunshine and not the snow over the next 2 weeks. And if you are managing to have some time off, then I wish you a wonderful time with any friends and family that you do get to see over this time. And for myself, I can see the new beginnings. Maybe we will have to wait. Maybe April the 12th, they will say, oh, no, we're not quite safe enough yet. But we are on the right path. So if it's not April the 12th, we still won't have to wait forever. Be patient, stay safe. If you do have some time off, relax, see your loved ones as best you can. I will see you next week at 10:30 for our conversation cafe. And I will also be here at 1:30 this afternoon for our games session. So we can learn English, but it doesn't all have to be hard work. We have some fantastic games for you. Come and join us and see if you can practice your English. Hopefully, I will see you there. If not, I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week, whatever you do. Bye for now.